Welcome back, everybody. How's it going? So today we are actually we're gonna be across the entire world today. Like we're gonna be in Siberia. A lot of decolonization stuff is gonna be happening. Basically, as I said in the last episode, we are preparing for the Americas storyline as well as the New World Order. Cause got to change up the series. It's been 70 episodes of the red team and blue team going back to back with each other. But yeah, firstly, the red teams and the Ottomans and their entire alliance, I guess, are going to be going to war. This is because the red team is kind of like done. They're like they need to do something because they need to capture this entire peninsula, and the Ottomans also need this entire peninsula. But yeah, they basically go to war, and yeah, let's get to it. Now the reason for this war, it's actually they're not even gonna give a reason this time. They're just gonna attack, and they're gonna attack under the banner of trying to recapture these taken lands, but their actual plan is to go all the way to the capital. Um, Probably to connect with these as well and just get more like even more territory along the Black Sea. Maybe like starve out the Crimeans. Yeah. But obviously the entire alliance is about to get involved in this immediately. Um, yeah. But before we do that, we have a little bit of housekeeping to do really quickly. So these guys. Oh, never mind. I thought they applied to join. I guess they've already been accepted into the Blue Team Alliance. Anyways, let's launch the invasion. So in the dead of night, the red team is going to launch probably the biggest invasion with 5 million troops on just the northern border. Over here, it's going to be about a million more troops, so 6 million in total on the red team to invade a country with about 2 million troops in total. So 2 million versus 6 million, 3v1 right now. Now the 1 million the south are definitely going to cause some trouble, but the 5 million in the north are going to completely obliterate. That might be a little bit too much obliteration. They're going to completely obliterate the Ottomans, and they're also going to invade from up here, and they're basically going to be able to capture the entire Ottoman north, which is not good for the Ottomans. And yeah, at this point, the entire alliance is going to be joining. Let's just see who's even in this alliance. So these guys, I don't know what they're really going to do. Same with these guys. I think these two. What there's this red team territory, and that's literally it. Um, is that it? Is that literally everybody? And Stanistan. I guess Stanistan's gonna try and fight. They'll launch a naval operation, I guess, but they're probably not gonna make it. The red team's probably not also gonna make it, so we can just probably keep that as is. Maybe we can make a naval warfare happen over there. So let's draw that in, I guess. Naval warfare time. That's probably all Stanistan is gonna be able to do. Not Stanstan. What are these guys? I don't know. Dark green Stanstan. I don't remember their name. Um, yeah. So that's the naval stuff they control, and then the red team is obviously going to be controlling, well, their own naval territory, but also they're probably going to control some stuff right along over here, just because they're always ready for an invasion. Like always, like literally always. You want to just realize there is not a single country in the Caspian Sea that likes the red team. Like literally not a single one, because they all have went to war with the red team. Literally all of them. That is actually so sad. This place is actually so hostile for the red team. Yeah, anyways, the red team, they're obviously, I guess we can just connect all of these up as well. So yeah, they basically just control that. Um let's connect this over here as well. So they control that stuff. We'll see if anything even ends up happening over there. Meanwhile, over here, the Ottomans are gonna try to, I guess, fight back by launching a little invasion over here. The red team's even just gonna let them take it because they're about to take it back in like 5 seconds anyways. Over here, the Ottomans are finally gonna get pushed out of the red team territories that they took, and over here, the red team is gonna launch a massive invasion into Sicily with about 300,000 troops, and currently in the entire Italian peninsula that the Ottomans controlled, there's a total of about 500,000 across the entire peninsula. In Sicily, maybe like 100,000. So the red team just attacked with 300,000. They're going to overrun Sicily. They're not going to push any deeper yet, but they are going to start launching naval assaults over here and capture a little port cities along here and there. Not really enough to cause a whole lot of damage, because the Ottoman naval capabilities are probably still better, like way better than the red team. But yeah, the red team's gonna continue to push. They're actually even gonna get all the way over here. I know I'm going a little bit fast, but I just want to like show you guys like there's no way the Ottomans are gonna win this. Eventually the red team is gonna ultimatum the Crimeans into allowing them to push troops through here, which is going to basically lead to a massive southern like land invasion. And from here, paired with the red team navy, they're actually gonna buy for the first time. They're going to buy naval boats and like military boats from the blue team. So that's how serious this new government is about like making the red team stand out on top no matter what. Like no more like there's no more hating on the blue team just because they're the blue team. It's all for money now, all of it. Yeah. Crimea is eventually going to like Crimea is eventually going to join in to the war once they realize that this is gonna be easy to win. Yeah. So they're probably actually I don't think they're gonna be able to join. I think the red team is probably gonna have to leave this area eventually, just because there's too many Ottoman like holdings there, and the Ottomans would like probably just focus on there since that's like the only thing they can really protect. So I think the red team is gonna probably get pushed out of there. They are going to push all the way over here though. And over here, I think they'll probably start using those blue team ships that they had just sent over to basically like destroy the naval stuff over here, and they're definitely going to do that with complete success. They are going to push in from like all sides, and probably they're going to push pretty deep and take the naval superiority over there as well. And at this point, I'm going to be honest, I think the Ottomans are going to probably get overrun in the mainland, and in Italy they're going to have to basically surrender because yeah. So with that, I think the red team has won, and let's draw up a peace treaty. So yeah. All right. So yeah, basically we're back. The map already looks way different. So that we're not completely done yet. Firstly, there's no more red team alliance. One, because the red team itself left a long time ago, but also two, the red team is going to forcefully dissolute that entire thing now. One housekeeping thing: did these guys? Okay, these guys have not been accepted into the blue team alliance, so we will have to deal with that. But yeah, before we move on to that, is this color the same? Is Caspia and Stanstan just the same color? They are not. They're a little bit different. It's a little bit hard to see. But yeah. Anyways, moving on from that. So Italy, that thing is never seeing the light of day again. I think the red team is just sick of that existing, because every time someone new comes in and takes control of that, they always are against the red team. First, it was Rome, and you remember how big Rome got. Like Rome used to own all of this stuff. They were dominating Europe, and then they went on the red team. And then eventually, after a while, they were destroyed with the help of the Ottomans. And then the Ottomans took this, and then the Ottomans started dominating, and then they went to war with the red team. Then the red team destroyed them. So I think now the red team is just done with this land, and they have just made it uncolonized, and they're probably going to just keep it like that. The Ottoman land itself, this is where things really come into play, because the red team knows they can't take the complete population control of this land, because and it's honestly the same thing with Persia. If they just leave it uncolonized, no one else is going to come to get it either. They won't accidentally lose it in a war, and it's kind of like they have dead like no man's land to both their sides, so it's kind of like a good thing, because eventually anarchy will like take control of this. And just like through here, if you remembered when the blue team tried to push soldiers to take over Persia through here, they started with what, like 200,000, and they by the time they actually got to this side of the border, they were left with like 75,000. That's the same thing. Imagine like someone from Europe pushes through here, they're going to be completely destroyed by the time they actually get to the red team territories. But yeah, many are saying annex it completely, many are saying leave it dead. At this point, they're leaving it dead, but not completely. They are obviously going to take some territory from here, just to kind of connect some things. Overall, they just want to move up the border a little bit. And many are saying if you're gonna do this, like at that point, just annex the entire thing, because the people living there are honestly like half and half. A lot of them are red team Anatolians, like people from the Anatolian province, which is also another thing. Notice how that provincial divide is not there anymore. And that's because, as we know, the military government is really against all these semi-autonomous regions. So they're basically also using this war to basically completely annex that into the main red team. But a lot of people from there have also been moving to the Ottoman thing. So a lot of people living in the Ottomans are originally from the red team, anyways. Which means if the red team, I guess, theoretically wanted to, assimilation would not be that hard. Like they could annex this, there wouldn't be that many rebellions because a lot of people have family on both sides of the border. Then again, the people who are Ottoman are like really Ottoman. They're obviously all gonna rebel like instantly. Um, I think the red team could probably annex this next episode, and it would be probably fine because by then all the Ottomans would have left this territory to go to actual Ottoman territories. But yeah, I guess this is what the border will look like right now. Hear me out. What if it all just becomes Crimea? Hear me out. I think the red team would actually right. I think the red team would like develop nukes and nuke Crimea immediately. Yeah, I think we can move on from that. That was probably the biggest war that was gonna happen. That was probably the biggest war that was gonna happen. We could probably move on to the next thing, which is Estonia. Ah, yes, Estonia. So these guys have been going through so much trouble. I think today is the day they're finally actually gonna collapse. Like completely collapse as a country. They're no longer going to be existing as a country in this series because they're just going to completely collapse as a civilization. And this is going to come after uh almost half of the population actually leaves the country to go to Poland. These guys go into the red team. Crimea is not here, so there's nothing really uniting the people against something. So like for example, before everyone was united against Crimea in the country, so they were all like, we don't care who the leader is as long as he's anti-Crimean. But then obviously these guys got absolutely destroyed in the war, and then people were like, okay, now we actually care about the economy as well. And remember, this was a bunch of rich guys, so obviously they're gonna be opportunists. Yeah, they're gonna chase the opportunities. And now that there's literally no opportunities left in this entire country, they're probably just gonna leave. That is going to be the end of Estonia as a country and civilization restarts. They're no longer. They have been eliminated. And I don't think anything's gonna take their place. If I'm being honest, this place is so dead. There's nobody that wants to live here. Um, Following this though, immediately in Poland, there's actually gonna be a civil war. But before we do that, let me just see: is there anything small that we can do? Ah, yes, there is a little bit of another decolonization project, and that's gonna be in Siberia. Basically, the blue team's gonna kill all the Siberian countries, especially this northern one, by basically just saying, oh, I mean the center one, by basically just saying, giving all the people that live here, they're just gonna give all of them a free visa, and that's it. And this is a part of the deal that the country is like trying to make with outside powers. And they actually go to the blue team, and they're like, you know what, let's make a deal. And the blue team's like, yeah, sure, your people can come live in my country, in our Asian regions down here, because the people here are getting too rich, so there's no one to work like smaller jobs. And basically everyone just starts leaving. So this country actually is gonna collapse after the guy is gonna basically like say the royal family is actually gonna leave as well. And at that point, yeah, there's no one gonna really be left at all. So, the like top people of the country are gonna come together, and they're actually gonna sign a thing saying that we are no longer a country, and everyone living there is gonna leave. Yeah. Um, these northern guys, honestly, same thing is gonna happen to them as well. Just cause, same thing, but not with the blue team. It's actually gonna be with these guys who are gonna give the same like thing. They're gonna be like, oh, you people want to come move to our country, and because these guys are already like somewhat allies, they're gonna be like, yeah, bet. And then everyone's gonna leave their country. That just be how it is. I honestly, if I'm being real with you, it's probably the reason I actually did this is because there's nothing more we can do in this storyline, bro. This is such a boring storyline. So we are going to be ending it. We're going to be focusing back in with these two countries. Um Anyways, yeah, with that we can move on to the Polish Civil War over this area, which, as I said, if you guys remember, the Polish want, because they want a straight divide between Europe. They want all that's over here under their control. These guys are people who live like these guys are people who were almost a country, but then they got colonized. They want their independence. Yeah, let's go. Now thing is going to be supported by the red team heavily, and basically this is a dissolutionary force. They want Poland to be split up into countries. Now, this is actually a union between a lot of different rebels. There's two main sides in this, and that is in the union between the rebellions, and that is one side who wants a new Polish government over these lands. They want a new government now because the same people have been ruling the country since its start, and the other team wants just to like make a bunch of smaller countries out of Poland because everyone has their own identity in Poland, but the government's trying to unite them all, and especially in here. That's mostly in here. The people who want to dissolute the entire country, that's in here. But yeah, and the two can't really agree on what they want to do, which is definitely going to come back to bite them in a little bit. But at the moment, they're pretty popular, and that's because inflation is at an all-time high. So wanting a new government is obviously going to be way easier to get people on board with. Um, Actually, the capital is almost going to fall, but not really. Not just a little bit's going left. And as this is happening, the Polish are going to launch their own military conquest, and here they're actually going to cut a deal with these guys. They're going to be like, you know what? If we do offer you guys um like peace, like give you this like all your territory back, will you stop supporting these guys? And because there's no like clear thing that yeah, we want not only this region to be independent again, we want a new government as well, because there's nothing like that that's uniting these guys. These guys like, yeah, sure, bet. And so this is pieced out. Now they only have to fight a one-way war over here in the east. They don't have to fight south and north. So they're just gonna let this keep growing, and they're gonna focus on this, which is gonna go pretty well. And at this point, these guys are gonna grow a little bit more, but because the east of the country is mostly dead anyways, they're just gonna push back, and they're going to push back really hard. They're gonna capture everything, and yeah, peace. That's all that happened. They really only lost this, which is not that bad considering they could have lost the entire country. So, I guess still it's actually a win-win for the Polish. It's a win because they just avoided disaster. For the red team, it's a win because I guess weaker Poland means they can probably get more stuff happening. But yeah, now with the red team, we are going to be moving on to another thing, and that is basically um the red team and the blue team. Their northern things are finally going to break out again. So the blue team growing their Siberian colonies and everything. The red team's gonna finally strike once again because that was never really fully solved, and there was actually a change of government before it could have been solved. So red team's going to finally launch another war, and the two are going to be trying their best to not like get this like make it across the entire world. They just want to keep it contained to the north, but the red team does want to finally end this, and they're going to be launching the invasion into the blue team's northern capital. Now the blue team this time is already ready, and instead of and they already have messengers like here, like going back and forth all the time because they already know what's going to happen. So right when they stop getting the messages from here, they kind of send the entire military up there, and they also send a bunch of military from here. They see the red team, what the red team is doing. One of the messengers, sends the message back to the blue team. Blue team declares all out war on the red team's northern territories, and yeah. Now the red team military, it's actually like the people want the red team military to grow the Siberian colonies because everyone's saying that there's a lot of resources up there. Red team military is on like a thing of decolonization. Obviously, they don't want to manage this big of an empire anymore. They want it all to be in the south. They don't want to be involved in Europe, as we know. And so that's definitely going to play a part because they're not going to want to spend that many resources. They want to spend only the North's resources. Um, and so, well, the blue team's pouring in all their resources, so they're obviously just gonna easily kick these guys out. And after kicking these guys out, they're just gonna launch an invasion over here, and they're going to easily just capture a bunch of land and capitulate this. And from here, the red team's gonna be like, "Oh no, what just happened? I guess we should peace out," and they're gonna sign a ceasefire. You see where I'm going with this? They're using this as an excuse to basically force decolonization over here. That's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna actually propose to the blue team that in exchange for some mining rights in here, we can just like surrender all our colonies, and the blue team's gonna be like, sure, buddy, because now they won't have any competition in the north. So yeah, that's gone. This is also because like these colonies were gonna become blue team territory anyways, so making them like uncolonized is probably honestly better. honestly probably like better for the for the red team than letting it eventually drift off and become either a hostile country to the become a new country, and that country would be hostile to the red team because they got independence from them, or it would just become straight up blue team territory. So this is honestly the best course of action. Denmark is also actually going to get uncolonized, and that is because the sentiment in Denmark has become very like independent. Like it used to be independence type stuff, but now the people have honestly lost faith in an independent country, and the Crimeans have already looted most of the resources here. So there's nothing really left to gain for a foreign power, and there's nothing left to gain for people who actually live there. So everyone's kind of already leaving. So the red team's gonna be like, you know what, let's just leave this as well. And there's officially no more red team in the north of the world. Next up, this is a long video, I know, but it's okay because this again, it's all a setup for what we're going to do in the Americas. Also stay tuned because the UK might start existing soon. British, Britain, bruv. Anyways, yeah, the blue team is going to lead an invasion, and that invasion is going to be of these poor guys right here, and that invasion is going to be because the blue team wants to hurry up as well in the series, and they want to basically hurry before there is another big war, and they want a united Japan under their supported team. So they're gonna launch the invasion. It's gonna be pretty easy. They're gonna capture the north, and they're also going to capture the capital immediately, just in wave one. And from here, they can probably just go out and capture the rest. I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, that's all just gone. And in response to this, the Tokyo thing is actually going to like unite with these guys, kinda. They're not gonna fully unite, but they're gonna merge the militaries. So we'll see if that ends up working in the future for them against the blue team. But yeah, I think that's everything for today. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Rest in peace, Ottomans. These guys are definitely about to get cooked by Crimea or the Balkans. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.